What the fuck is this piece of shit?
What is a plot? The plot is the mapping of events in which each one, except the final, affects at least one another. According to American science fiction writer Anson Dybel, the term plot highlights important points which have consequences within the story. In the narrative sense, the premise sets up the plot, the characters take part in events, while the setting is not only part of, but also influences the final story. Plants vs. Zombies is one of a few games that when you think of it, you don't remember what exactly happens after you beat the game. In games like God of War, Spider-Man, or Forgive Me God, FNAF Security Breach, there's a basic storyline with dialogues and consequences of your action which will lead to the following game. But what about PvZ? So let's remember the plot of PvZ. Wait, did it actually have a plot? Well, yes, but it's not handed to you on a silver platter. You have to really delve into every detail of the game, like cutscenes, deaths and zombies, monologues, or even the Easter eggs hidden on the maps. Just like in FNAF.
Young fly on the track.
We appear on the front porch of our house and see 5 gray, bold monsters that look somewhat human, but their heads are too big for their bodies. I'm not even talking about this mobile port. As you can see, we don't have a lawn, but how are we going to plant plants without grass? Oh wait, someone's sowing a lawn, and only one lawn. Why did they spread to other rows? Okay, someone says you have to click on a seed and hover the mouse over the grass. Why does the plant have eyes and why does it dance to the beat? What is that? The sun? Why is the sun falling to the ground? Now we can collect the sun. How else you can surprise us?
What the fuck?
Well, it makes sense. The game is called Plants vs. Zombies. How else could we defend ourselves from them? After the first day, we get another seed, but this time it's a sunflower with eyes. And after each day, someone gives us a new seed. On the 4th day, we get a shovel and some guy with a bucket on his head appears. You know this is Dave.
Dave! 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 Ah.
Judging by his appearance, you can tell he is missing a few screws, and he also pretends to be crazy, and instead of normal speech, he speaks like this. After the end of the 9th day, we receive a note from the zombies. Considering they can spell, mistakes of course, but that means they have at least some intelligence? Well, basically they're planning to attack our house. And what's the big deal? You were doing this for the past 9 days. Okay, at least it's sincere. After the mega battle ends, we get them. Why does the game contradict itself? I went online with this question and stumbled upon an interview with George Fenn, the creator of PvZ.
But I'm curious because a lot of people say, well, mushrooms aren't plants anyway. And so I'm curious, how come mushrooms got mixed in with the plants?
Good question, Kobe. I don't know, but, on an unrelated note, did you ever find your dad?
I sometimes look at, like, when I make games, like, let's not look at, like, technically what things are. Let's look at more like, I don't know, just a analogy is like, how would a little kid think of this or something like that, right? Like,
yeah.
And I feel like under that analogy, like, mushrooms stay still, they grow, they are honorary plants. They can definitely, like, hang out in the plant.
And what conclusion can we draw from his words? Well, plants aren't associated with night, so I'll add mushrooms. Okay, since the sun doesn't appear at night, we need something cheap, and in that situation mushrooms come to us. After the night ends, what happens? Right, oh, a pool.
What doesn't kill you
Now these creatures want to get through our backyard, and our neighbors already prepared and given us water lilies to keep the plants from drowning. After another day, we get car kitten thing. We're going to Alaska now with science. Jesse Bigman at the end of El Camino. Yes, science, bitch. No, they're Dave's car's key, so what does that mean? Dave will sell things to keep us alive. And what is he selling?
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Well, we immediately say no, so we continue to live without these things. Wait, not live, but survive. Notice the differences? On day 6, Dave comes to us and explains that sometimes during the zombification process, the zombies become small. Is there any reasonable explanation for this? We'll find out in the future games. There will be one, of course. Now, it's not in the pool, and for me, this is the most boring map. And the plants, I mean mushrooms, are all the same. For example, a sea shroom. It's the same as a puff shroom, but it's water. So let's move straight to the roof. After day 4, we get a watering can and the opportunity to start our new Zen garden, and our kind neighbor wholeheartedly gives us 2 sprouts to start with. We cross the roof, and as always we're greeted by a note. Wait, why is it written so beautifully, and who is Edgar Zomboss? Wait, what do you mean who's here? For what? Yeah, scream you.
You guys, I'm going home.
After the epic victory over the Zomboss, there's another note. But this time, as the usual, the zombies themselves write to us that they don't want brains. They want to record a video with us. Well, I don't think the next parts will be about Dave and Zomboss pursuing a musical career together, so it's probably not canon.
I like to touch your kids.
After the listening to the video, it's great, but what was the lore again? We don't know where the zombies came from, why plants help us survive them, and who Zomboss is.
What exactly is Dr. Zomboss? Zomboss was once human.
Wait, there's an almanac in the game with information about every plant and zombie. I think that will help us.
A few moments later.
This didn't help me understand the plot at all. Well, plants can not only think, but also share their thoughts and lives. And the funniest thing is, they're perceived as people. For instance, Spike Rock went to Europe and met some wonderful people. There's a cowboy cannon who studied at Harvard. And also says he remembers the zombie wars of '76. And back then they didn't have your pea shooters or jalapenos. They only had guts and spoons. So in history there were 2 apocalypses. Zombies also have an almanac, but in most cases all we learn from them is that they love brains. But Zomboss defended his doctorate in dermatology in 2 years. Maybe he caused the zombie apocalypse. Then who started the apocalypse in '76? First, let's watch the trailer for the second part. Whoa, Dave survived the zombie. As you can see, Dave has a certificate of heroism hanging on his wall for saving Neighborville from a zombie attack. So the action takes place in the town of Neighborville. His house is filled with time machine related items, and at the end of the trailer he travels to ancient Egypt. The second part starts with the same as the first. Same porch, same tutorial. But on day 5 we get hot sauce. And here comes our hero, the neighbor. You know what's funny? We seem to be fighting off all the zombies and zombies, but Dave gets the credit. I remember him getting caught by a zombie in the final battle, leaving us alone with a giant zombot. That seems a bit unfair, doesn't it? Okay, so what are you going to tell us this time, neighbor? Oh, you need some sauce? Well, fuck you, we saved his ass and he's asking for us for a sauce. Okay, Dave, like the taco so much. By the way, it's a taco from the trailer, you get it? Right? That he wants to eat it again, and to do that, he needs to travel back in time to get it again. Hold on a second. Why are you introducing yourself? We've known you since the first game, right? Maybe the main character in the first game died after zombies, and people thought Dave defeated him? Listen, I'm just like that guy back in the day. What was his name again? Meet Penny. She is Dave's time machine. Anyway, we're going back in time to ancient Egypt, and it looks like there was some kind of a glitch. Or Penny was always planning on going there. Why would Dave go to Egypt if he could just go back 10 minutes ago? Take it back and eat it again. But in the trailer Dave chose ancient Egypt himself, so I don't know. I sometimes feel so sorry for Penny because I couldn't stand the constant yapping of that idiot. Anyway, wherever we go, zombies will always be there before us. Living zombies in every timeline. After beating zombies in the pirate seas, he tells that Penny's temporal signature is identical to his creations. And when Penny asks Dave if that's true, he just dismisses it, pretending that he didn't hear the conversation. Meaning, he didn't exactly create Penny. When we return to the modern world, Zombies drops a taco, but this time it's a waffle with maple syrup on the top. As the title says, a war suddenly started between two rivals. Is this some kind of a garden warfare?
Say that again?
So the basic plot here is that Zombies now wants to take over Suburbia, not Neighborville this time. Plant's team, as always, in the line of defense against the zombie horde. Now, before the events of this game, some changes happen in their world. Well, first of all, plants have become much bigger, and if in the previous two games they were just chilling in the pod, now they can move by themselves. And main structures were established by Crazy Dave in order to defend from the zombies. The Mega Flower and a tactical cook up. He has exploited a tactical cook to destroy Zombies Mountain, and the Mega Flower is the garden of the coastline located on Driftwood Shores. In the last stage, inside of the lighthouse, we can see exactly how Mega Flower and tactical cook appeared. Not only did Dave enhance the defense, but also he added some new arrangements in Suburbia, like the golf course, Cactus Canyon, Chump Town, Garden Center, and even a sweet secret mansion on Walnut Hills. But what about the zombies? Zombies amplify technologies, giving zombies weapons instead of anything that was lying on the ground in order to conquer these maps. And these maps, Zombies came up with two ideas. Establishing a secret lair inside of a damn mountain and building many aircrafts. But they crashed. I don't know if that was on purpose. But in the other maps, zombies just spawn in the nearest cemeteries. So that's basically all lore that we could dug up from these games. And who do you think won this war? Take a guess. PvZ Garden Warfare 2 takes place after the zombies have finally won the long suburban war. Through his inventions, advanced technologies, and endless armies, Dr. Zombie successfully conquered Suburbia, transforming it into a zombie-controlled city known as Zomburbia. As a result, the plants were driven out of the neighborhoods and forced into hiding. The game's trailer presents a world where Zomboss is in full control, and the balance of power has completely shifted. Furthermore, the trailer introduces many new and highly advanced zombie classes. From a lore perspective, this development is explained by zombies conducting experiments and creating elite combat units such as Super Brains, Captain Deadbeard, and imps equipped with massive Z-mech robots. This creation represents the peak of zombie military evolution. Meanwhile, the plants, now scattered and defeated, begin to reorganize under the leadership of Crazy Dave. Refusing to accept defeat, he initiates a counterattack by activating experimental plants from the time, such as Citron and Rose, and by training plant soldiers with military discipline, most notably Colonel Corn. Consequently, the events shown in the trailer depict the exact moment when the plants begin their comeback, launching an offensive to reclaim suburbia. When the player launches the game for the first time, they spawn in a familiar neighborhood, but this time it has been fully zombified. Instead of a bright blue sky, the world is covered in dark, gloomy clouds, reinforcing the idea that the zombies now dominate the environment. Notably, zombies possess the ability to alter their surroundings, corrupting everything they control. This is evident in how the garden center becomes the aqua center, suburbia transforms into suburbia, and even small background details take on their characteristics. At first glance, these changes may seem like simple aesthetic choices. However, on a deeper level, they suggest a far darker theme. Zomboss actively destroying the earth itself. Beyond zombifying plants and humans, he appears to be altering the animal kingdom as well. For example, at the Aqua Center we see mutated fish with zombie heads, as well as living fish skeletons. Additionally, the Zomburbia Zoo features giant mutated beetles and scorpions, further amplifying widespread biological corruption. Now, turning to the playable classes, each new character introduced in Garden Warfare 2 carries significant lore implications. Colonel Corn is a high-ranking colonel in the plant army who was stationed overseas during the events of the first Garden Warfare. Upon hearing about the devastation back home, he returned only to find suburbia completely transformed. Because of this, many fans theorize that Colonel Corn suffers from the post-traumatic stress disorder. This theory is supported by his story missions, where his home is filled almost exclusively with military equipment and war-related objects. Unlike Citron's or Rose's location, which appear comfortable and livable, Colonel Corn's environment lacks warmth or normal decoration, suggesting that he chooses to live in a constant state of war. Citron, on the other hand, is depicted as a time-traveling, bounty-hunting orange from the distant future, sent back in time to turn the tide of battles. His mission is simple: stop the zombie invasion at all costs. As he famously puts it, he's here to chew bubblegum and kick Z-Mech butt. And he's all out of bubblegum. Similarly, Rose is a powerful seer originating from the Dark Ages. After witnessing a horrifying vision of a zombie-dominated future, she travels to the present day in an attempt to prevent it. Her presence emphasizes the theme of time manipulation running throughout the game. According to legend, Torchwood was sealed inside a chest due to his immeasurable rage. Trapped in this purgatory-like state, his anger only continued to grow. Once he released, he emerges driven purely by vengeance, adding a more primal and dangerous force to the plant army. On the zombie side, one of the most tragic elements of the lore involves the imps. By harnessing illegal future butt technology, these small zombies and their Z-Mechs play a crucial role in the Battle of Zomburbia. However, throughout the series, imps are constantly mistreated. In Garden Warfare 1, every imp was essentially a walking bomb used in kamikaze attacks. In Garden Warfare 2, their situation is arguably worse. Imps are forced into menial labor, used as Zomboss step stools, and even turned into a zoo and arm farm attractions. This treatment suggests that imps are viewed as the most inferior members of the zombie army, like due to the small size and expendability. Expendability. Meanwhile, Super Brains is described in his sticker book as a zombie created entirely in laboratory, with his sole purpose being to fight in the Battle of Zomburbia. He's not a citizen, not a volunteer, but a weapon. Captain Deadbeard adds another layer to the story. Frozen in ice for hundreds of years, he eventually drifts ashore in Zomburbia alongside with his loyal pirate pal. Now awakened, he's all crusty and eager to resume battle against the plants. Similarly, Howard Ghost 3000 originates from the future. According to the legend, he was considered too radical and therefore contained. Once released, he sets out to prove just how advanced and cool future zombie technology truly is. Across many maps in the game, there are numerous advertisements and promotional broadcasts featuring Dr. Zomboss, designed to encourage zombies to relocate to the moon and take part in the lunar workforce. And why does he encourage them to work there? It's simple. After taking control of Suburbia, Dr. Zomboss sets his sights far beyond Earth. His next phase of domination moves to space itself. On the moon, Zomboss establishes two connected operations, Moon Base Z and Lunar Landing, forming the backbone of his most ambitious plan yet. At Moon Base Z, zombies are harvesting a powerful moon crystal called the Cranium, a rare and powerful crystal. These crystals possess supernatural and highly advanced energy properties, making them one of the most valuable substances ever discovered. Once the cranium is uncovered, it quickly becomes Z-Tech's #1 power source, a pure, clean, and renewable energy element unlike anything on Earth. On Base Z, Z-Tech establishes massive mining and refinement facilities where the cranium is harvested, melted down, and processed to fuel the zombie empire's technological leap forward. Using the cranium-powered experiments, Zomboss creates and fuels a massive giant magnet. This magnet is not just used as a weapon, it is the key to Zomboss' ultimate goal, altering Earth's orbit to trap the planet in a permanent solar eclipse. Without sunlight, plants would lose their ability to photosynthesize, dooming them once and for all. The zombies' mission here is to defend the magnet at all costs, while the plants launch a desperate assault to destroy it before the eclipse can be triggered. Nearby lies Lunar Landing, a secret zombie staging area and command center on the moon. This base reveals just how calculated Zomboss' plan really is. Inside, players can find a miniature tactical mode of Moon Base Z. This miniature battlefield shows that Zomboss has carefully predicted planned strategies and planned his defense in advance. Through a window in Lunar Landing, the giant magnet from Moon Base Z can be seen looming in the distance, confirming that both maps are part of one unified lunar operation. Lunar Landing serves as the brains of the operation, while Moon Base Z is the weapon. The Zomboss 6000 is one of the Dr. Zomboss' most important technological creations, and a clear symbol of how far Z-Tech has advanced. It represents the transition of zombie technologies from experimental prototypes into mass-produced planet-threatening war machines. The Zomboss 6000 was first introduced in the E3 trailer for Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, where it appeared as a towering boss encounter. Although it never appeared as an actual boss in the final version of the game, its presence in the trailer established it as a core part of Zomboss' long-term vision. Throughout the Garden Warfare, the Zombot appears repeatedly in the background as an environmental storytelling. Destroyed heads in places like Crash Course and Cactus Canyon suggest that early versions of the machine were tested, damaged, or abandoned during Zomboss' early attempts at mechanized domination. Speaking of Cactus Canyon, in the map Seeds of Time, inside of this building there's a history gallery filled with a bunch of events that happened or will happen before or in the future. And in one of these pictures there's an image where the cause of the crash are shown, and turns out it wasn't a coincidence. Crazy Days RV bombed the aircraft of Zomboss over Suburbia, resulting it falling to the ground, while Days RV managed to plunk back to the garage. By the time of Garden Warfare 2, the Zombot 6000 had evolved from a singular prototype into a fully industrialized Z-Tech product. In Z-Tech Factory, multiple copies of the Zombot are shown being mass-produced on an assembly line. Headless units are lifted from the underground manufacturing chambers, carried by mechanical claws placed onto launch platforms and fitted with their heads before blasting off into the sky. This process demonstrates that Zombot is no longer relying on one super weapon, but is instead creating an entire fleet of Zombots. The Zombot reaches its most important role in Zombopolis, where it is prepared for launch as the final objective and an ultimate zombie weapon. Here, the Zombot is no longer just an industrial product, it becomes the centerpiece of Zombot's military strategy. Shielded, repaired and upgraded, it is deployed as a devastating ally for the zombies. Depending on the battle outcome, the Zombot either successfully launched into the sky, signaling zombie victory, or collapsed into lava, symbolizing the destruction of one of Zombot's greatest achievements. One particularly interesting detail can be found inside the Z-Tech Factory. In a launch room, players can discover a newspaper article about a science fair where Crazy Dave defeats Dr. Zombot using a pea shooter. However, written in the article is the word cheat. This small environmental detail might hint at the true origin of the zombie apocalypse, suggesting that Zombot's descent into madness and revenge began with this humiliating loss. Finally, the game introduces the mysterious wizards who appear in the map seats of Time and Time Park. These omniscient time-traveling beings are responsible for creating the Time Park itself. According to in-game description, they reverse engineer gnome technologies to construct time portals. Throughout the map, subtle details imply that the wizards possess near complete knowledge of all time in the universe. As a consequence of excessive time travel, both plants and zombies ultimately destroy the natural flow of history. In locations like Time Park and Seats of Time, time itself collapses, dinosaurs becomes plant-based creatures, zombies gain status in ancient Egypt and Rome, Crazy Dave receives his own mummy tomb, and Dr. Zombot is immortalized as Julius Caesar. None of this happened naturally, it is the result of reckless time manipulation. Ultimately, plants and zombies show no concern for historical consequences. They fight in every era without hesitation and even attempt to steal time shards from King Nomus, the supreme god of time. As a result, the timeline and the entire Plants vs. Zombies universe is permanently rewritten, leaving human history forever altered. PvZ Heroes and PvZ Garden Warfare 2 happen at the same time. From the start of this game, Dave once again greets us as if he doesn't know who we are, so I guess neighbor from PvZ 2 died too. We are shown that the Zombots made another Zombot, but this time it turns regular zombies into heroes, and he accidentally turns plants into heroes as well. This will be a foundation for the LEAF team. With that, plants and zombies get a whole army of heroes, and you get the idea. From here, just plants go to place to beat each one of the zombies' heroes they come across. Now, apparently there are PvZ comics, so in order to understand what happened between PvZ Garden Warfare 2 and Heroes and Battle for Neighborville, you have to read all of the comics.